Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today, showing you 14 little things in Fallout 4. Now, mind you, Fallout 4 is an absolutely massive game, and some of the biggest features are the ones that get the most focus, but Bethesda also displayed a high attention to detail in Fallout 4 compared to previous entries, and in this video, I'm going to be pointing out those specific things. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Fallout 4's power armor is essentially a walking tank, and when you jump off of high areas and land, you'll see a cloud of smoke appear, and your player just lands in an epic fashion. But one little detail that I noticed is actually when you land with various objects nearby that you can pick up and move, that they actually fly away, giving some more added effect to your landings in the power armor. Environmental storytelling is one of Fallout 4's strong suits. When I discovered a relay and I opened up my radio and found out that there was someone calling for help, I figured this was another one of Fallout 4's quests where I'd end up finding a person helping them and receiving a reward.
This has been a pre-recorded message. Message repeats in 3 seconds.
I made my way to Fallon's department store and into the basement, and I ended up finding something a bit more grim than usual. Chems have been in Fallout since the very beginning, and they've had various interesting effects, but sometimes I suppose they can send you into a wild frenzy, and Fallout 4 provides some very interesting dialogue when you consume certain chems. Let's use Psycho for an example. Emil Pagliarulo is the lead designer for Fallout 4 and has been a part of the Bethesda Game Studios team as long as I could remember. On Twitter, he showed that his room that he grew up in is in Fallout 4 because Emil was actually born and raised inside of Boston. You can follow a path on his Twitter of various pictures and it'll lead you to this building here. Inside on the top floor, you'll find a Grognak the Barbarian comic along with various other posters on the wall displaying that this clearly was a kid's room. Fallout 4 does a fantastic job of showing how the wasteland has progressed and rebuilt and accepted the reality they're in, but that doesn't mean that they can't celebrate holidays from 200 years past. As you can see, if you enter Diamond City on Christmas Day in-game, you'll see that there are Christmas lights and trees set up, along with some interesting dialogue.
Can you believe today's Christmas? Ho ho friggin' ho.
Fallout 4 is a fairly emotional game at times, really tugging at your heartstrings, but sometimes it's not just lying in the main story. If you take a companion and bring them back to Vault 111 and show them your deceased husband or wife, they'll have some very interesting dialogue to briefly say.
Is that who I think it is? You okay?
Dogmeat is one hell of a loyal companion, and he has a very interesting mechanic that I think will be quite useful to a lot of players. You find various teddy bears all across the wasteland, and sometimes you'll scrap them for junk, but actually, why don't you try giving it to Dogmeat? He might really appreciate it. In the first clip, I showed you guys something cool about power armor and a little effect it has. What I didn't realize though was that there's actually no fall damage when you're wearing this. It doesn't just prevent it, but entirely cancels it out. This is supported by a terminal inside the Pride Wind, which shows that Brotherhood of Steel soldiers actually compete by making the highest jumps, and that you can join in on that fun and jump off some of the highest locations in Fallout 4 and land on the bottom without losing any health. I know I made a separate video on this, but this is just too special to leave out. How about that Todd Howard painting as Napoleon Bonaparte inside the Dugout Inn? A lot of people missed the special book from Fallout 3 and wish it had returned in Fallout 4, but it actually does in a specific way. Did you know that after the prologue, you can enter your own home in Sanctuary, and underneath Sean's crib, you'll find a special book which you can assign 1 special point to any of your special stats. In order to find the railroad in Fallout 4, you must follow the Freedom Trail. And what's interesting is that the Freedom Trail in real life is actually a tourist attraction in Boston. Now what's even cooler is that in Fallout 4, they included the plaques on the buildings that you can read that are actually there in real life. Just a little attention to detail there by Bethesda. Obviously, at the beginning of Fallout 4 are prepare for the future pre-war ads playing on the television in your little home. What you don't know is that you can actually visit where this newscaster is by typing in the following console command that I'm typing in. When you do that, you'll visit what is essentially a replication of the sanctuary home in the pre-war and find that it's a floating newscaster on a table with a camera set up, which is likely a parent camera, along with a separate newscaster who's doing a separate animation. It's just a very interesting thing to look at. A lot of Fallout 4's mechanics are up to player discovery. This is to some people's dismay and to some people's preference. In Fallout 4, there's actually a cover fire mechanic. I had no idea about this. Basically what happens is when you lean against a wall, you'll see your weapon go up, and whenever you aim in, you'll peek around the corner. Now mind you can't do this when you're looking above something. That's where you use the crouching and standing feature for. Magnolia is a character that stole the hearts of many Fallout fans when they arrived at Goodneighbor and heard her beautiful songs, and then they began to play on the radio, and then they found out they could romance her. But would you still romance her if you knew that she was a synth? Yes, if you kill her, you actually find a synth component on her, confirming that Magnolia is in fact a synth. And that will conclude 14 little things in Fallout 4. While these aren't things that will change your opinion on the game, it might help you find a deeper appreciation for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know if you found any other little things in the comments down below. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, be sure to check out sugarbomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Stay sexy, stay active, I love you all, peace.